Alright, let's get real about this. Let's stop pretending. Stop holding on to the past like it's some precious, unshakable thing. The truth is, the past is just that, a thing that's done. And yet so many of us are stuck living there, letting it drag us through the mud. Keep us chained to old wounds, old stories. But let me tell you something. You're not your past. You never were. And you sure as hell don't have to stay stuck in it. You know how the whole gaslighting thing works, right? It's that toxic little game where someone tries to make you doubt your own reality. Where they try to make you feel like you're crazy. Like your feelings don't matter. Like your pain isn't real. But here's where you flip the script. You can walk out of that mindfuck. Acknowledge your feelings. Not just in ways they want you to, but in your way, in your truth, in your time. It's the first step. So maybe they don't acknowledge it. So what? Does that change the fact that you felt it? No. So why should you deny it? By acknowledging it, you take back your power. And once you take that step, everything else opens. Think about it. You're standing there, looking at your past trauma. And instead of letting it drag you down, you say, okay, I see you, I feel you, I acknowledge you. But you don't control me anymore. And that's where the magic starts. You start reframing it. The trauma. It's not who you are. It's what happened to you. And that's an important distinction. You're not a victim. You're a person who's experienced hardship. And through that experience, you learned and you've grown. Now let's break this down. You had someone in your life who repeatedly ignored your boundaries, made you feel small, made you question your own worth. That's trauma. But it's not the end of the story. What if I told you in this very moment you've got the power to shift it? You can look back and say, that happened. I didn't know how to react then. But you know what? I know better now. Now instead of feeling stuck in anger, resentment or guilt, you feel free. You get to decide how to respond, how to feel. Your growth doesn't come from hanging on to the hurt. It comes from looking it in the eye and saying, you tried to break me, but all you did was teach me how strong I really am. You might have believed for years that your worth was tied to the validation of others. That's belief, not a fact. Now just imagine, that your worth is inherent. It's not earned. It's not up for debate. It's yours. No one can take that from you. That shift, that's power. Because once you own your worth, guess what happens? You stop chasing others' approval. You stop letting them dictate your feelings, your actions, your sense of self. You start living for you. And that is when your whole world changes. Now let's take that and extrapolate it into the future. If you keep hanging on to those limiting beliefs, those old stories, those past wounds, where does that leave you? Stuck, right? Trapped in that loop of pain and self-doubt, always questioning, always second-guessing yourself. But if you break free, if you stop the cycle right here, right now, the future you're stepping into is one of absolute freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of other people's toxic bullshit. You're no longer afraid of looking back, because the past has nothing left to teach you. You've learned it all. And you're ready to step forward into the life that you deserve. Here's the thing. You can release that trauma. You can release that fear, the anger, the feeling of being stuck. When you shift your perspective, like flipping a light switch, you start to see things in a new light. You stop seeing the past as a weight. You start seeing it as fuel that propels you forward. Your past doesn't bind you, it launches you. It's not just about shifting perspectives, it's about taking action. Remember, you've always had the tools. You just weren't using them. Well, here's your chance to do it differently. Trust yourself. Trust that you have everything you need to move past the old wounds. Trust you're safe now, that you're strong now, that you're whole now. You can look at that little you who didn't know how to react to the abuse, to the gaslighting, and you can smile, because that little you is a survivor. And you can say, I'm proud of you for getting me here. And now, I'm going to take it from here. This is where the magic happens. This is the moment where you forgive. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve it. You deserve to feel light, free, unburdened. And guess what? When you forgive them, you get to move on. You get to step into a new version of yourself that's fully empowered, fully free and unstoppable. Imagine this future. You look back at the people who hurt you, the ones who overstepped your boundaries, the ones who gaslight you, and instead of anger, you feel empathy. You understand they were wounded. They too were living in their own cycle of suffering. And now you feel compassion for them, knowing they'll receive the karma that they've earned. You don't need to hold on to the past, because the cycle ends with you. You decide. You decide to move on. You decide to reclaim your life, your strength, your purpose. You decide to raise your expectations. Not of others, but of yourself. You decide to go after your dreams. You decide to take risks, to smile, to laugh, to play, to live. And here's the kicker. The more you show up as your true authentic self, the more the world shows up for you. People will notice. You'll attract the right people into your life, because you've let go of the negative energy that kept you stuck. Instead of pushing people away with your pain, you'll draw them closer with your love, your compassion, your joy. You'll be the example of what's possible when you decide to heal, to forgive, to let go. You'll create a world where everyone is lifted up, because that is what you've chosen to embody. So now, you get to reclaim your life, your goals. They're yours. Your optimism, it's contagious. Your compassion, it heals. Your safety, your trust, your love, it's abundant. And when you choose to embrace all of that, you finally start living. Let it sink in. You're not just surviving anymore, you're thriving. And every day, every action, every shift in belief, it propels you further into that future where everything you ever wanted is within your reach. You're free. You've let it all go. And now, you live for you.